Welcome back. Now, our next guests are taking the nation front row to one of Ireland's best-loved comedy club nights.
Please welcome comedians Damien Clark and Eddie Mullarkey.
Hi, boys.
Hi, guys.
Thank you.
All right, so you're bringing us to the Craic Den Comedy Club tonight from 10 o'clock, boys. So, this is a very successful comedy club that's been running for a while. But how did it begin, boys?
Well, interesting question, man. You take that. He loves his Craic dens.
Damo wasn't there, but like all great things, began in a basement of a bar. And it was about 4 years ago now. And I started with another lad who's since moved to Canada. First act I booked was Damo
This
here.
boy?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he, eh?
He still hasn't gone home.
He hasn't left.
Can't get rid of him.
No,
That's why I'm still involved.
I mean, I still
hanger-on
owe him money, but what are you going to do? You know, he's hanging around. No, I didn't know how much I was like first night I've ever organised for comedy, and I didn't know how much to pay people. So I asked Damo, what's the fee to pay? Bad business move, obviously. Never, you start the negotiation. I said, how much do you pay? And there was a pause, and Damo kind of looked up. And said, $600, $700. And I was like, I might be taken for one here. But since then, Damo's joined the team, and now we're running it together. And post-pandemic, we joined team.
There you go.
Cool.
Teamwork makes the dream work. It's airing tonight, 10 p.m, Virgin Media 2, and it's all about showing off, diverse, upcoming Irish comedy talent. Why is that so important for you?
Well, the scene is amazing at the minute. There's so many talented young comedians that aren't... Like, there isn't as much of a stand-up scene on TV or media as much as there is in other countries. But the talent is still there in Ireland. The clubs are full of amazing comedians. So I think it's important to get all that comedy out into the world, give them a chance. And I'm really proud of the comedians, if I'm honest. It got a bit emotional when we were filming because, it was very high pressure. And most of these comedians never been on TV. And I was saying to them beforehand, like, this is it now. If you mess this up, we're never having you back. Like, you got one chance.
No pressure.
No pressure.
No kick gloves there, no.
Yeah. We don't have the budget to film you again. This is it, right? So don't mess it up. And they all went up and nailed it. And I was just delighted with them all. So, yeah.
Comedy.
It's kind of like the Alex Ferguson.
Yeah. Fully.
Yeah. They come up and they get hairdryer treatment.
Traumatised. We all know, like, anything can happen at a comedy show. Absolutely anything. What's the strangest thing that's happened at one of your sets before?
Oh, apparently mites are mating on my face. I just learned.
During the gig.
During at all times, not even when I'm sleeping.
If people miss the start of the show, they'll be like, what's going on in this
We'll talk about this in part 3, folks.
Just Google search it, that's all. The weirdest thing for me, I would say, is a few months back, after one of the shows, there was a German guy in the audience. That's not the weird part now. We love Germans. But he came up to me after the show and he said, "Hello, I am a psychologist in Germany and I diagnose people with attention deficit disorder.
Right.
And I am so happy to see people with attention deficit doing very well in comedy." And I was like, Me? No, I don't have attention deficit. And he goes, "You were tested in school?" No. We never got tested, in Ireland. Did you get tested?
No.
We could have
we were
done
just told we were odd.
Yeah. That's it. ODD. Disorder. That's what we got.
Not ADD.
Yeah. Just swap it with an O and don't address it. Yeah. But he was adamant. He was like, "Oh, you should get tested. I'm very confident. I diagnose people. You should." He was probably right. But outrageous. Does this German psychologist man just go around diagnosing strangers at work? Is that his thing, Hello, barista?
Moving from event to event.
Well, it was an impressive German impression.
Oh, thank you. That's what it really is all about,
What we're talking about accents, of course. You have kept your Australian accent, the one you were born and bred with, but you moved here in the noughties. Yeah, bringing your Australian humour to Ireland. Does it translate well?
Yeah, I think the beauty about doing stand-up in Ireland is everyone's funny. So you've got to be better than the regular person. All Irish people are funny. And you even see it because it's summer and the tourism is so high in Ireland and everyone loves coming to Ireland. But Irish people give out about Ireland all the time. It's that humility that people love. You can't not like someone who's like, I'm awful. I stay away, I'm awful. But people love that. It's endearing. So the soundness of Irish people top trumps the drizzly weather, the like all the bad things that people are making fun of. In other words, like if Irish people were French, no one would come here.
Because it would be France.
We have the best risotto. We have a baguette. We put in the baked beans. We put in. It's because Irish people are like, it's humble and the crack and it's fun, and that's why it works so well here.
I suppose. Well, the truth is that most Australians probably are of Irish stock because Trevelyan's corn was stolen and they were all put on prison ships and sent there.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Hence the song.
Thanks for the history lesson.
Keep checking my pocket around Damo as well. Keep a sharp eye on it.
They're stealing stuff. This cushion is coming with me.
Keep an eye on counter cameras as well after the show. Just...
They're all locked down right now. We've had Damien in before.
Yeah.
There are nuances of Irish culture that we can only learn from living here. And you got an experience of this with the GAA.
Oh, yeah. So when we did the show called A Dare years ago, one of the dares was, wear a Meath jersey and go to a Dublin match when Meath aren't playing, because I didn't know that there was anyone's next door neighbour is going to be a rivalry. So, of course, Meath and Dublin rivals. So it was like Dublin and Tyrone. Meath weren't even playing. And we had to go sit in Hill 16 with Meath jersey on. We didn't make it there because all the Dublins were like, going to beat your head off. Don't be wearing that. Don't be wearing that. And a Garda van pulled up with a cage around it, one of them.
Yeah.
And we got escorted into the back before we got beat up. And we were like, what does this mean? It means Meath.
What does this
mean? It just means Meath. Why does everyone want to kill us?
Wow, imagine if it was just your first time in the country and you saw the Meath jersey in a shop. You're like, I love the colours of that. I think that's the jersey for me. I'm going to throw it on.
Yeah, it's very similar to
all
Australian
of a sudden, the
colours.
guards have to escort you out of town. You're like, I wish I didn't buy that top.
Yeah, I nearly got me killed.
You see, and you have to remember the guards wear the Dublin colours. They're in sky blue shorts and navy trousers.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, in Cork they should wear red, shouldn't they?
They should. Yeah,
red
they should.
Garda.
Is someone taking notes?
Yeah.
Take that down.
Get the monster guards happening.
What about hecklers?
We love them.
You love them.
Do you really?
It's a love-hate
Depends.
relationship. So
Depends.
oftentimes hecklers mean well. They don't know how drunk they are. They don't know how way off they are. And you have to kind of kill it with kindness, match their energy. If they're getting really angry at you, you got to put them down. If they're just think they're being nice, you got to match that as well.
So
it's quite positive though. The Irish heckles are more positive than anywhere else that we've been. It would be something like, that was a good one. You can't slam someone if they've just given you a loud compliment.
Good one, lad. You're just like, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, but so the Zoom gigs that went on during the pandemic, were they heckler free? Was that the joy of them?
No. You can't escape.
You were heckled on Zoom.
We did a Zoom gig for the Craic then. So we started putting on Zoom gigs. And actually, my girlfriend's parents were watching this gig, right? And we got what's called Zoom bombed. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. It's when if you put up a public Zoom, it was big at the start of lockdown. Everyone had these public Zooms, quiz shows, comedy shows.
Yeah.
And people would put them up on secret forums and get hackers to come into the Zoom gig and bomb it and hack it. So they're kind of like hacking hecklers, right? Hecklers. And so we were on this. The gig was going well. 5 minutes in, all of a sudden, loads of like really crazy adult content just starts coming on the screen. Some like pretty wild out there stuff.
Yeah, and you couldn't hear it, but all you could hear was Eddie going, sorry, that's not me. Sorry. And
this is not a joke. This is not a joke, people. Please don't leave.
It's not part of the bait.
And it went from like 60 people in the audience to 5 very quickly. And but fairness to those 5, they've been back every gig since. They're
every gig that they're
waiting for the. But I had to call up my girlfriend's parents after the gig and explain. And she's Spanish, they're Spanish. So I had to explain in a language I barely speak that, sorry about that. And they thought that this was all just my plan, my joke for the show. Just put on adult content. They were like, we thought it was your thing, Eddie. I was like, that's not what I'm about. Their first gig they've ever seen me at. That's not, it's not my typical gig.
What an impression.
Yeah.
What an impression to make.
Okay, is she still your girlfriend?
She still is.
The parents still like you?
Well, she's still my girlfriend. We'll keep it at that.
Up for debate.